Hi guys, welcome to my live streaming. So today we will analyze some cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, and of course some stocks. So let's start. So I'll be using Renko chart in my analysis. Anyway, so that we'll start anew. So actually this is the whole chart of Bitcoin. Currently it's trading around $11,800. So as you can see, this is the long-term downtrend, but it break that resistance a few months ago and now currently trading at 11,869 and possibly retest this area. Actually, this is the support and this is the resistance I'm looking at. It's actually a channel, possibly retest this area around 13. Actually, I'm looking at around 13,000, but before that, it need to break this 12,400 here. So, of course, this support line, trend line here around this area. Probably around this 11,000. Depends where the Renko chart is, but a Renko chart has each bar of a Renko chart has support and resistance. So yeah, let's see how it goes for Bitcoin. Currently, for Bitcoin I'm more on long. So let's see if I trade it now. I mean, if I create a long position, might not be. I'll be using the uptrend channel, the resistance and support area as possible support and resistance. If it creates a new all-time high, that's still rewarding long position in my opinion. So yeah, I think that's it. Within the next few days or maybe few months, it's possible and create new high at this area around this 13,000. And of course, the support I'm looking at is these areas. This is the strong support I'm looking at, the around 11,000. But of course, you can also use this each Renko bars as support and resistance. So yeah, let's see. But I'm pretty bullish. Look at this BTC dominance. Wait, let's remove all the drawings again. This is the whole BTC dominance. Let's use this weekly. So it's actually creating a new uptrend Renko chart, which is bullish. So possibly retest this area. This is the strong resistance I'm looking at. Of course, this resistance area here, and of course the resistance, or it's already at near support. So yeah, I think it's more as a bullish sign if you use the weekly time frame. So that's actually possibly it will go back to around 770 area. So that will be might not be good for the altcoins if it went back to this 70% dominance. So it means that a lot of investors are accumulating more Bitcoins. So I think that's it for BTC dominance. So pretty actually bullish for Bitcoin within the next few weeks. So I will take any wait. I will take any page. Anyway, let's move to altcoins. So let's start with Ethereum. So if you have some questions, you can also feel free to chat in our live chat. So we're using the Renko chart so that it will be less noise. It's actually in a downtrend. It's actually a long-term downtrend. See the trend from January 2018 until October 2020, still in this long-term downtrend channel. Unlike Bitcoin, that already break that channel. So for Ethereum, I'm looking at well, it's currently on the up higher, but for it to trade but I'm looking for Ethereum to break this long-term downward channel and create a new channel. Though it's creating an uptrend here, it's still within the downtrend channel. As compared to Bitcoin, that from the downtrend, it created a new upward channel. So I'm still undecided for Ethereum. Actually, I'm waiting for it to break this 480 plus, or possibly around the 500 area. And of course, the support I'm currently looking at is the 316. So this is more on a long term. Well, I don't know what kind of trader you are, but for scalping, you has support and resistance already. So yeah, next possible resistance from here is of course the 3 or the around 400 area. So that's how you use the Renko chart. So for now, I'm still bullish for Ethereum. Renko bars or Renko chart still in the uptrend. There is 1.56 only. Wait for it to break this long-term resistance area here, or here. To break this, and once it pull back, I will enter a long position. For now, actually, I'm long on Bitcoin. So next is need Tesla chart. Yeah, later. So next is XRP. I think we'll just focus on top cryptocurrencies. Actually, I'm a crypto trader and commodities. That's actually the bulk of my trade. And of course, come again, Nasdaq. That's actually my favorite US index. So actually, XRP is creating a projected downward Renko chart. So it could possibly retest this area. So the around 0.22. This is looking at is the 0.25. Or it could possibly trade within this area. Still on a long-term downtrend. So next is a link. Oh, it's actually down by . by 5%, and it's created a channel or Renko chart. So actually I have no more position in here, in link. At this point, it could possibly retest the or this around 9.60 area because it's forming a bearish Renko chart. So the next support is 9.59. Of course, I'm looking at is already the 11.375, but still it's still on the downward channel. So it could possibly trade within this range unless it break out here. So let's see how it goes for link. And now let's move on to, I think that's it for one, two. I think that's it for cryptocurrencies. Now let's just move on to gold. Wow. Actually, I'm long to gold. I'm actually bullish on gold. I started trading it around this area. So anyway, so if you look at the Renko chart, it's actually forming it's a confirmed reversal. So it could possibly retest this area. It's a strong resistance area around the 1974. But of course, I'm looking at this area as the strong resistance around the 2060 area. And of course, the support I'm looking at is at 1862. And since I'm bullish on gold, actually I'm long on gold. So let's see if it's still rewarding if I enter a long position. So the risk reward ratio is still at 2.69. I could still possibly gain 7.37%, and if I got stop out, I will lose around 2.74%. In trading gold, actually I'm using a platform with the maximum leverage of I think around 500 times leverage. But of course, in trading leverage, you must also consider proper position size. Silver. So actually, silver and gold, mostly sometimes it's same entry. I usually do the same entry for silver and gold. Anyway, if you look at silver, it's also too bullish Renko chart. So it could possibly retest this area around the area $, and of course I'm looking at this area as a possible stop loss, or actually if I'm trading, I'm using each bar as support and resistance, and I'm adjusting depends on where the Renko chart is. Of course, if I entered here, if I entered long here, of course, that this is my stop loss. But if I already entered long here at this area, of course, I will adjust this my stop loss. So let's see if it's still profitable for me if I trade here. So if my TP got hit at 29 area, I could still possibly make a profit at around 16%. And of course, if I got stop out, I will lose around 4.26%. But of course, the is null trading strategy. So that's silver. And then Well, actually, if you look at the US oil, long term, it's actually, wait, let's do this. Let's use the weekly Renko chart. Let's just adjust it. Oh, so if you look at the oil, it's actually more on a long-term downtrend channel, still at a long-term downtrend channel, but now currently consolidating at this 40 area. So since it's on the middle of this downtrend channel, it's seems like it will try to retest this previous high. Let's see if it breaks this area around the 43 area, and of course this area around the 37 area. But of course, if I measure the risk reward here, it's no longer profitable. So I'll just wait for it to for a breakout and possibly enter it. Possible target around this area, around the 60 area. So yeah, let's see how it goes for oil. Actually, oil, I have read IMF targets around 40 to, I think, 50 to $60. So around this area still. So next is natural gas. Actually, I'm also long to this natural. I'm more actually bullish on it. So let's just remove all the drawings. So if you look at it, it's near near the support area. So I think it's more on a higher possible, mistaken, around around this area. I start trading it a long position. So, and of course, the support I'm looking at is at these areas. So if I entered long, let me check if the risk reward ratio is still profitable. My target profit or my target price is around 4.79, and of course my stop loss at around 2.58. That's actually a risk reward ratio of 2.75, which is still attractive in my own trading strategy. So I could still possibly gain a 50% profit. But if I got stopped out, I could possibly lose around 18%. So now let's move on US indices. So let's remove all the drawings and let's use the daily. Actually, despite the pandemic, US indices is still performing better than expected. So it's actually near this, it's actually created a new all-time high, to be honest. Same with NASDAQ and S&P 500. So my next possible target here is, of course, to retest this next Renko bar, which is that is around this 29,151 level. So yeah, I think that's it for Dow Jones. And of course, the support I'm looking at is this. I will use the two Renko bars as a support, and actually that's 1:1, so it's a no trade zone for me. So I'll just wait for it to correct or pull back a bit before I will enter long. So I think that's it for Dow Jones. Now let's move on to S&P, another US index. Now it's creating a projected bearish Renko. So it could possibly retest this area, and of course the resistance at this area. The support I'm looking at is around 3.2 and the resistance around 3.566. And it's creating a down still change. But if this is a confirmed bearish Renko, of course, the next support I'm looking at is at this area around the 3,400. And then, of course, the next is the 3.3 and then 3.2 until this 3.2 area as strong support area. So now let's move on to Nasdaq. Actually, Nasdaq is my favorite index. Actually, I entered during the pandemic. So, you know, um, where's my TP? For Nasdaq, actually, it could still retest this all-time high. And the support I'm looking at is I will use the two Renko bars as support and you know, be confident that it will create a new all-time high or retest this area. Since it's still a bullish Renko chart, it can still possibly retest this and create high again is 12,235. So if it breaks this area, another plus 250 points from 200 from 12,235. So that's actually around 12,500, the next possible resistance. So actually I trade around March 25. So I'm here. I traded here. So until I did not get the all-time high, but I take profit around this area. So anyway, so let's move on to what's that? FTNT chart. So let's now move on the US stocks. So US stocks, let's first is Apple. Is if you look at it, it's still a bullish Renko chart. So it could possibly retest the previous all-time high, which is around 134 area. And since recovery will start around this quarter to 2021, yeah, I think it will give additional income for individuals that could possibly, you know, buy new iPhones. Because at this time, the priority is, of course, food and shelter. Now it's actually creating a bearish Renko chart. So possible support I'm looking at is this area, around the 107 area. The possible catalyst is, of course, the earnings, which are due October 30. So a few days from now, actually. So how many days from now? About 10 days from now. That it will create a new all-time high and could possibly break, of course, break this 135. But of course, if it misestimate, yeah, it could possibly break this support area 107. So that's the catalyst I'm looking at for Apple shares. So now let's move on Amazon. Well, for Amazon, it's still in a uptrend channel, but it's near the support area. So I think it could possibly create a new Renko, which is or will retest around this 3,000 area here. So this is the 3,000 area, 3,100 area. So what's the possible catalyst? This is the support I'm looking at, and of course, this is the resistance I'm looking at. So the resistance will be around, it can actually create a new all-time high depending on the earnings which are due October 29, so 9 days from now. So if it's better than the area and create a new, so that's 3.5, 3.6. So from here to around here, wow, that's, well, it still depends on the earnings, but it could retest this area of around 4,000. That's the best case if earnings are better than expected, because analysts are estimating of around 7.29 dollars. So yeah, I think let's see. For now, it's a no trade zone for me. I'll just wait for the possible catalyst. So next is Microsoft. So Microsoft, well, Microsoft is still at the uptrend channel. See, oh, sorry. Actually, this be a more bullish pattern. So I'm expecting it to retest the previous all-time high of around 232. So the difference here is around $5. So each rent is $7. So yeah, I think let's see how it goes for Microsoft. But of course, the resistance I'm looking at currently is the previous all-time high of around 233. If it breaks that level, possibly all-time high and possibly around this 200, or actually depends where this Renko bars will retest this area, but yeah, I'm looking at around 300 area here. And of course, the support I'm looking at is this area, of course. This is the strong support I'm looking at. So I think that's it. The possible earnings per share of around 1.54. So 8 days from now, let's see how it goes for the chart and go FTNT. So next is Google. So anyway, in trading, we have a different strategies. But of course, our main goal is of course to make profit. There's actually so for Google, it's just created a new support at this area around 100, and now possibly retest our previous all-time high of around 1,725. So yeah, let me check if I go long. Actually, the risk reward ratio depends on the trader. There's if the my target profit is the all-time high, and of course my cut loss area is this area, the Renko chart, the low of this Renko chart, which is around the 1,521, or that's actually around 1,510 if I use this. So that's still a profitable trade in my opinion, in my own trading strategy, of course. So next is Facebook. So currently, Facebook is in a long-term uptrend, but currently creating, or that's actually a confirmed bearish trend. So it tests this area, the previous support, which is around 242 area. If it breaks this level, it could possibly retest, of course, the long-term support, which is around this area. So that's actually around 220 area. And of course, the resistance I'm looking at is this area, the previous um, high, Renko high of around 2. So yeah, I think that's it for if it breaks this 280, of course, it will retest this area. So at this point, I think the risk reward ratio is 1:1. So it's a no trade zone for me. I'll just wait for a more attractive trade. So I'll just measure it. So that's actually, yeah, 1.87, which is not on to Netflix. Netflix, and then after that is Tesla. Oh, Netflix is a confirmed bearish Renko. So next possible support, could possibly the strong support I'm looking for Netflix is actually this area, the 470. But of course, as I have mentioned, its Renko chart serves as strong as support and resistance here. So the resistance I'm looking at is the all-time high. And of course, the support I'm currently looking at is, of course, this area, 506. If it breaks this next Renko chart, of course, this area. Of course, the strong support I'm looking at is this area. So, let me check. I think seems like it's a short. Wait, if it fits my trading. Yeah, anyway, in trading, always put a take profit, and of course a oh, I think I use long. Let me use the short. So there, I will use this Renko high as my target profit. I mean as my stop loss here. And of course, my TP around this area. So that's actually a possible risk-reward ratio of 3.42. I could possibly gain around 11.49% PGAT. But of course, if I got stop up, I might possibly loss around 3.36. So the best thing is, I think I can use a trailing stop of each Renko chart, which is 1950 as a trailing amount. So next is actually I use Renko chart because it's less noise than the candlestick. Yeah. Next, Tesla. But of course, I also use candlestick. I can also read that's the chart. But on a longer or if you want a more higher profits, yeah, I actually use the Renko chart. Or sometimes I also use Hikenashi. What else? Yeah, and Renko. That's what I normally use. So there. So for Tesla, it's actually creating or projecting a possible bearish Renko chart that could possibly retest this area. So this strong support around this 388. Possible catalyst is of course the earnings which are due 2 days from now on October 22. So if the earnings is better than expected, it of course it will bounce back from here and could possibly retest this previous all-time high of around this area and possibly this. That's on a longer horizon. So I think most of the companies are or the economies are in recovery stage. So yeah, actually I'm accumulating more stocks, more local stocks than the US stocks. But yeah, my favorite is more on tech stocks. And of course, else will be actually for McDonald's, restaurants are closed for some time, but still, despite the pandemic, it's actually trading at all-time high. Well, so yeah, I'll just wait for its earnings, which are due on November 9. Well, I might be missing something for McDonald's. I don't know. But most of the local stocks actually are in a loss. Are you? Yeah, I think even some, except for some tech stocks. So there. For McDonald's, if you read the IMF, this recovery phase around uh, 10 next year. So it's good for everyone. I mean for traders to accumulate a fundamentally good company. So yeah, I think for McDonald's, it's due on November 9. So more or less 20 days from now, and still creating an uptrend or bullish Renko. So possibly let's create this. Oh, we can actually use this fib. So possible next resistance is around 1.272, around 251 area. So yeah, if there's no target, but of course this is the longer term target. But of course it will not go that in an instant. It will there will be a pullback, and then but the trend is so there. I want an average time you hold a position. Actually, it depends. For cryptocurrencies, I'm trading normally I do- I use the it's to for cryptocurrencies I'm holding actually long term I hold Bitcoin, and some I also trade futures, which are perpetuals. I close it depends um it well like this. I normally take profit every day every day because I use these but because I use each Renko as support and resistance. So like for example, during the news when OKEX announced that the withdrawal freeze, I actually buy some. Actually, that's a long position, and then I took profit around which are yeah this area 11.7, and then actually if you use this candlestick, it's actually went as high as 12,009 I mean 11,900. So my TP got hit. So every day um I close a position. But on a longer term, I also have a 6 months what's that time-based futures on cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and and I think some link. So on US indices, yeah, I normally close it before the end of the week because Saturday Sundays is higher finance. That for me, week is already long, 1 week. Yeah, well, I don't know. It depends in a minute, 1 minute chart, or even seconds. I also try trading using 1 minute chart, but the come again, but the gain from it is not much. So I rather use a longer term daily. Sometimes I use uh, for monthly. That's normally Bitcoin. So I normally, because on a long term, I hold, on a longer term, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin because institutional investors are coming in and they are more on a long term position holder. So yeah, I think looking 20,000. This is the previous high for Bitcoin, right? Around the 20,000 area. So yeah, it depends on what I trade. So what's the go? I think I'm done with Tesla. Um, um, it's actually Tesla is more on a bearish and could possibly retest this around this area, around 400 area. So yeah, I think I'm done with it. Yeah, the last one that I analyze is McDonald's. This request go. Well, I don't know go. It's this GoPro. What's go? Go what? There's a lot of go. Or what was that? FTNT? I don't know if FTNT. Oh, Nasdaq. Wow. It's my first time to see this. Because actually I'm not trading US stocks, as what I have mentioned a while ago. My focus is cryptocurrencies, US indices. That's it. So for TNT, Fortinet Inc., it's actually more on a bullish channel or uptrend channel that could possibly retest this previous all-time high of around $148. Possible catalyst is of course the earnings, which are due 9 days from now on October 29. So their analysts are expecting around 0.78 EPS. So yeah, let me check if this is um, I use the low of this Renko chart as support, but actually if it breaks that level, it could actually go as low and retest this area. Well, I just want to check if I go long on this, if this is profitable in my own trading strategy. So there. Anyway, I'm not trading Forex. I'm just trading normally crypto commodities and US indices. So actually, still, for me, it's still a profitable trade if I go long at this at 10.43%. If my take profit of around 149 got hit, but of course, if my stop loss got hit 45%. So I actually use the low of this Renko chart as a cut loss area. I normally do that. But then again, let's look at the chart. I mean the candlestick. OMG. Let's check. Actually, there's a gap. For Renko, you are not here. Does it filled? Got filled? It's the high is 112.20. And the low here is that I don't like, actually I don't like trading um uh stocks with gaps. But for Bitcoin, it's actually a good opportunity to enter with. So wait, I'm just, was it? Oh, we're actually on a live. It's actually live. So anyway, if you look at, or if you use the candlestick, wait, let me check this. Still, actually it's near the, I mean the overbought. Oh, it's not. Oh, I mean, that's still a possible risk reward ratio of 2.41. So you can see the difference if you use the candlestick and the Renko chart. But anyway, it's actually almost the same. It's just less noise if you use the Renko chart. So I hope I answered your questions. What's narrow downtrend channel and over? What about this narrow downtrend channel and overall S&P situation? What was what narrow? What narrow downtrend? I don't know what. So for S&P, let's go back to S&P. Oh, it's not this. It's actually not yet confirmed. The Renko is not yet confirmed. So this could still possibly um, become a bullish Renko as long as it's not yet confirmed. Because for projected ones, actually I'm not once it confirmed, then I will trade that because this could possibly I will get a wrong decision. So for it, yeah, I'll just possibly today. So yeah, let's see. Or you can actually also use this um, chart, the candlestick chart, or even you can also use the Hikinashi to see the overall trend. But for Hikinashi, it's already a bearish candle. So depending on the candle you are using, but I think it's still on a bullish. Come again, bullish. It will create a bullish. See, it's already creating a green candle. Create a new support area around this area. But of course, let's finish today's candle before we make that assumption, or we can use these lower time frames. So wait, let me check. Oh, let me check. Actually, there's a hidden. I mean, a wait. There's actually a. It's going down and it's going up. That's actually a bullish divergence. Yeah. So the Renko is still. Sorry. So this projected Renko bearish could possibly create another or confirm a new bullish Renko because this is not finished yet. So yeah, let's see. And if you look at the trend, it's already on a green and on a lower or candlestick, you can see that there is a bullish divergence. So yeah, I'm still bullish on it. Because using a projected Renko bar um might not come again, what's that, might give you a wrong decision unless it is confirmed that's already a downtrend. Yeah, because I see some Renko bars or a projected Renko that's already a bearish and then suddenly it became a bullish Renko chart. This is the area of around the because a Renko chart has a fixed size. As long as it did not reach the fixed size around this area, it will not create or confirm a new bearish Renko chart, like what had happened to BTC. Actually, last Friday, if I'm not mistaken, it's creating a Renko. But then again, that's just a projected Renko. So, yeah, that's one of the, I think, yay, yay, Bitcoin. Anyway, well, I'm just cheering Bitcoin. I'm actually long on it. Look at the, you know, it had a very different from Renko. So that's why I'm mostly using Renko chart in my trading. But the projected Renko bars, I'm not normally using it. Once it confirmed, that's the time that I will do the trade. So I think that's it. What else? I don't know. I'm not normally stocks. So if you have some stocks to look at, let me know. And 11.9 to 12.9. Let me check on what's that? Uplink. Let's just check this one. Wow. OMG. Possibly retest the previous all-time high using the Renko chart. When is the earnings due? Oh, today? They are expecting a negative earnings. So possibly let's wait for the earnings. But if the earnings is not that good or disappointing, it could possibly pull back and possibly retest this area, around this area. This is actually a strong support here, around this 23 area. So I think it depends on what's the earning for Snap. Wait, let me. But of course, if it's better than expected, we can use this as wait. Around possible 30, 32. If the earnings are better than expected. So actually, I read a CNBC. He told me that, he said in the article that um, price earnings ratio of US is actually expensive. Actually, it depends if is high, that it's already overvalued. It's actually a case-to-case basis, in my opinion, because you can see some stocks that actually, based on history, are trading at a higher PE, and some stocks are trading lower because investors don't like it, lower PE. So it also depends on investors' sentiments. So still, the demand and supply will also comes in. So I think that's it, guys. If you have some comments, questions, and feedback, please feel free to reach me out. So thanks, guys. Yeah, stop stream.